Hello, everyone, and once again, welcome to another short episode of the Ocean of Observations with me, Dr. Amit Punjabi, a show where we talk about observations that have already brought in a lot of shifts, positive shifts for not just individuals but also organizations and small teams. So, this is a show where I share observation from different aspects of philosophy, psychology, semantics, and experiential learning. And I'm very happy to say that we've received a lot of positive testimonials, a lot of good feedback, constructive feedback, and we are glad that this show is continuing to make a difference. We are glad that you're able to put the observations to use, and thank you for really sending in your questions, your queries, and looking for more guidance because that is what is keeping the show going. This is what helps us come up with better episodes, design better episodes for you. So far we've always spoken about what successful people really do, observations that I've made from people I've spent time with, behavioral observations, psychological observations, philosophical observations, and I'm glad that all of it has made a lot of disturbance. Today is going to be slightly different because today we are actually going to be talking about an industry observation, but we are going to really apply it to self-growth, right? So earlier it has been about what successful people do, how they behave, how they look at things, their perspectives, and let's do our best to model that. Uh, but like I said, we are going to talk about something that's working really well for industries today, different industries, but is not used very well for self. And it's time we start using it for self. So here's what we are going to be talking about. So since this is now we are a YouTube channel, so please make sure you click on subscribe, click on the notification button so that you're updated with all the episodes, and keep coming back, look at the old episodes, and you can always share your questions, your comments on the comment section below. So let's continue with this. So today what I'm talking about is disruption. Everybody has heard of disruption. It's a trending word today. And every industry is using disruption. They're talking about disruptive innovation. They're talking about disruptive technology. So just to give you a quick understanding, for people who are not really working in these big companies that talk about disruption, or people who are not maybe reading a lot about it, just to give you a quick understanding of disruption, disruption is basically creating disturbance. That's what the dictionary meaning is actually, but it is to create a decent amount of disturbance to get a better product, to get better technology, to come up with better ideas. So the idea of disrupting industries is just so that the industries could do better, could have better results, could produce better technology, have better innovations. The basic concept is disruption is necessary for better quality of business. Maybe it's as simple as that. However, while industries are continuing to use disruption to grow, we haven't really seen enough individuals using disruption to grow themselves. So today we are talking about self-disruption, right? So self-disruption is really starting to pick up now in with very few leaders in the world. Started talking about self-disruption. However, it's just not a trending topic maybe, but it needs to be trending. I believe it needs to be trending, and even whether it's trending or not, it is something that we can utilize. It is an observation that we can put to use and achieve better results. So remember, industries are using disruption purely for growth and have better results. Don't we want the same for ourselves? So if we are individuals looking for personal development, personal growth, it is not possible without disruption. In fact, we've already done it before. All the individuals that I met who have actually come to us for coaching, to attend a program, they have done a lot of self-disruption without really knowing it. They haven't considered it disruption, but it is disruption. For example, you come to me, you come with me for a program, and I put you through an activity which you're not comfortable doing. You've never done it before. That's disruption in a very simple way, right? But we need to make conscious effort. We need to start doing self-disruption, start disrupting things around us for ourselves, for us to grow. And why? Because we need that disturbance to challenge ourselves. Only then do we become better. Do we know what we are truly made of? So let me tell you what I'm talking about. I had the opportunity of meeting a lot of people, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people continue to have the same fears for their whole life, right? So I met a person who had the fear of maybe reptiles. I've met people who have the fear of reptiles. I'm just using it as an example now. So I've met people who had the fear of reptiles for maybe decades. I've met people who had the fear of heights maybe since birth. In fact, I was an individual who had the fear of heights for almost 26, 27 years of my life. In fact, I broke through my fear when I was 27. So it's been 4 years now. And today, heights, it's kind of my comfort zone. I love doing activities at high altitudes. Not just mountains, but actually above the ground, a few feet above the ground. So I remember doing an obstacle. I'm very comfortably able to complete an obstacle course in a place in a place in Bangalore, which is about 30 feet in the air, and I do it very comfortably. If anybody would have asked me to do that when I was maybe 21, 22, I would have not been able to do it. But today I'm able to do it. So guess what? Disruption made me able to do something that I was not able to do earlier in my life. And this is exactly why disruption is important for personal growth and development. Are we disrupting enough? People are educating themselves, getting high class degrees from amazing universities, and still do not get to have their dream job, still do not get to live their dream life. Because you know what? We haven't disrupted enough. We are still continuing to go the traditional way. We are still getting educated. We are still getting degrees, which is absolutely fine. It's good. Maybe, it makes you secure. It gives you the sense of security that, okay, fine. Because of this, my life will tend to work. This will work. I will earn a living. I will be able to, do well for my family. So it's good. But remember, even businesses today, industries today are disrupting the market, are disrupting industries for better growth, better development, right? The traditional way of doing things is just not enough. Will you get a job after getting educated? I'm sure you will. Will it be a job that will push you to your limits? I'm not sure. Will it give you everything that you dreamt of? I'm definitely sure it won't, right? People who are just educated, go out there, find a job, get a good position. Somehow, I met a lot of them and they're still not living the life that they dreamt of living. They're still not able to overcome challenges. In other words, this will resonate with all of you. In other words, they are easily stressed. Well, guess what? People who continuously, constantly disrupt, they're not easily stressed. So you're not doing this just for your job. In fact, I'm sure you're already happy with your jobs, you're already happy with your businesses, and that's absolutely fine. The traditional way has got you this far. But if you wanted to be better, then it's time to disrupt. And we're not talking about disruption in your office, disruption in your business. We are actually talking about self-disruption. It is important for us to keep getting better as people, right? So if I had the same fear in 2019, if I had the same fear that I had in 2017, 2018, have I really grown? I don't think so. A lot of people don't think so. So when I talk about self-development, self-growth, a lot of people talk to me about, Amit, how have you grown in the last year? I always get this question from almost everybody that I work with. So I'm glad that I'm getting the opportunity to work with a lot of upcoming authors now. And it's good, authors tend to ask you really good questions. It helps you kind of have an insight of who you really are, who you become, and who you want to become. And I'm really privileged to have this platform and have the opportunity to do that. So very recently, also had a lot of people question me about. So tell me, how much have you grown in the last year or two? What has happened in your life? What have you grown into? So, and what made me happy was realizing I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I'm better than what I was last year, right? And that's a sense, that's a feeling I'm sure everybody would like to have. The next year needs to be better than this year. So I need to be a better person next year, right? I need to be better than who I am today. So if I want to really be better than who I am today, I need disruption. I need self-disruption. I need to create a certain amount of disturbance to know who I truly am. Now, let's get into understanding. So how do I create this disturbance? How do I really maintain or rather work on self-disruption? It's really simple if you look at it. It's simple but not really easy. You will need to push yourself. Maybe you need to get a mentor. Maybe you need to get a coach. Maybe you need to join a certain program. Maybe you need to go out there and start meeting people and get more insight. So like I said, it's simple but not easy. You'll need to make it easy by doing all of those things that I just mentioned. So here's the thing. There are a lot of things today that limit us, right? I'm sure a lot of things today that limit us. So, but it's funny that it is not really circumstantial. Most of the limitations that actually stop us from doing things are limitations that come from within us. It's more a mental block. So it's fears, it's insecurities, it's just basically not being comfortable, not being willing to do things. So guess what? Disruption is just purely making you do things that you're not comfortable doing, things that you've never done before. And I'll give you another reason to why you must do it. Everybody that I'm coming across now hates monotony. They don't want their work, they don't want their life to become monotonous. Yes, they're doing something really special with their lives, but they fear monotony. They fear even what they're doing today becoming monotonous, and that's why they want to keep constantly trying new things. Well, guess what? If you hate monotony too, this is the best way of moving forward in life. Disruption. Create some disturbance. Do things that you're uncomfortable doing. If you are uncomfortable talking to people, then just enroll into forums and make sure you're in large gatherings at least once a week. Go for conferences, go to workshops, and you will realize you will soon start to become comfortable. You will not be afraid of talking to people anymore, right? You wouldn't be shy anymore. You will not have the shyness anymore, and that is growth. I remember when I was in college, when I was in PUC, pre-university, I really was scared of talking to people, but today this is my work. I earn my living by just meeting people, talking to them and interacting them. But this was not my strength about 15 years ago. And today it is my strength. So what was once my weakness is my strength today. And I feel really glad when I say it. And I feel really powerful when I say that what was my weakness once, today is my strength. This is a state of mind. This state has helped a lot of people overcome a lot of challenges in life, because they have the sense of, you know what, once upon a time I had a weakness and now it's no longer my weakness. Just the sense of that pushes you to achieve a lot more. So we need disruption. Disruption is creating disturbance, right? I'm sure we will be disturbed with doing things that we haven't done before, that we are uncomfortable doing. Well, let's become comfortable, right? Let's become comfortable breaking through fears. You have the fear of heights, go trekking, go rappelling. Come on, go with a group, and better to go with a group. Go with a group of people who will actually motivate you to overcome your fears. Make a conscious decision of overcoming your fears, right? Don't let them stop you. I'm sure this would sound quite cliche, but I don't want to talk about it in a philosophical way, or I don't want it to sound cliche. So I will tell you, it's purely just disruption. You don't want to do it, it's up to you. But this is the reason why you need to do it, because disruption leads to better development. Disruption leads to better growth. If you are someone who's looking for better growth, better development, a better lifestyle, then we need to do something which will create disturbance in our daily life. In other words, we need to start doing something that would make us uncomfortable, and do it for a few weeks, right? Do it again and again and again till you have the sense of, I'm over this, right? I'm not affected by this anymore. This would push us. If industries are doing it, companies are doing it, businesses are doing it, why can't we do it as individuals? We must, in fact, do it as individuals. Industries are growing just because of disruption. Just imagine how much growth is available to us if we could disrupt our own lives, if we could bring disruption into our own daily lives, right? So I'll give a very quick, simple example of doing this. I got tired of having, a regular cup of coffee at home. I love coffee, but I got tired of having the same kind of coffee, or maybe even filter coffee every day. And I went out and I just learned how to brew coffee. I learned how to make different kinds of coffee, right? I didn't know I was capable of doing it. I didn't know I had it in me. But just the whole idea of learning a new way of making coffee at home and brewing coffee at home kind of gave me a sense of achievement. And guess what? I'm experimenting so much with it that people have started asking me to write blogs on it. I'm not going to, just to be very clear, because I'm not an expert, I'm just an enthusiast, right? But it kind of changed the way people relate to me. People have started talking to me differently. People enjoy coffee meets. In fact, my icebreaker in every conversation is just coffee today, because I started brewing. People actually have seen pictures on my Instagram and they ask me about, so how did we get into it? It's amazing, yeah. I would love to maybe do this. Let me come over to your place and have a cup of coffee with you. And I'm glad, wow, come over, right? So, it's just something new. I'm doing something new that I did not do for over 30 years of my life. That is creating disturbance. That is creating disruption to just become better. Today, I know I can brew a great cup of coffee. I didn't know I could do that last year, right? It could be something small that you want to learn. You always want to do something better, something different year on year. We are coming close to the end of 2018 now. It's the last quarter of 2018. Let's make sure we move into 2019 with one new skill, with one new quality, right? And that quality, that skill can only be developed if we are doing something new, disruptive, creating a disturbance, right? Let's know what we are truly made of to end 2018 on a high note, on a good note, to start 2019 with a bang, right? So this is about it. Please do share your comments, questions as well on the comment section. If you want it to be personal, please make sure you send an email to observations@sankalpacademy.in. Even if I take time, I will really respond to those emails. I will for sure respond to those emails, right? So thank you so much once again for watching this episode, and let's disrupt our own lives. Let's have self-disruption for better growth and better development. Thank you once again, and see you in the next episode.